everyone, I'm Keisha Charmaine and I'm back. I'm making this video because I really wanted to share 3 experiences that I've had with, well, one was with a medium and the other 2 were with, I guess, clairvoyance. I'm not quite sure what I would call them, but people who prophesize, okay? And these encounters were completely spontaneous. Only one of them I knew personally and the other 2 people were complete strangers. And I thought that this video was the perfect opportunity for me to share these experiences because I'm partnered with Keen. Now, Keen is a company, it's a hub where you can match with different advisors. That's the word I like to use, advisors, because I personally believe that God gives us all different gifts. Some of us have athletic ability, some of us have, you know, scholarly, academic ability inherently. Some of us are gifted with more intuitive gifts, and some may call them psychics. That word is a little taboo. I don't really like it, but clairvoyance is a really good word I like to use, or you know, there's a lot of different clairs, but also mediums, intuitives, and it's a hub that can match you with an intuitive who can assist you. Now, you can actually build relationships with these people, or you can just go and have fun. It's up to you and your beliefs and your desires at the time, but the first 10 minutes is $1.99 with my code. Actually, not with my code, with my link. And I'll have the link below and on the screen right here. So if you're interested in psychic counseling, or if you are just into the entertainment aspect of it all, or if you want to test to see if these people are legit, I definitely recommend giving it a try. The site is really easy to use for you to get matched. So they ask a series of simple questions, and you know, you can choose if you are into an advisor who specializes in love and relationships, or maybe career building, things of that nature, and they'll match you with different options, and people have different price points. And in case you're wondering, yes, these people are vetted. They're vetted professionals, and you can do some more vetting once they match you with the people. You can definitely like click their profiles and read their reviews and see how many stars they have. So yeah, give it a shot. I'll talk more about my experience using the website at the end of this video. But right now, this is what you came for. I want to talk to you about my experiences in real life, okay? Whew. So the first experience was with someone I knew. So I had a friend named Aaron in high school, and he had a sister who was 18 years older than him. So she was somewhat of a mother figure. And I had definitely spent some time with her. She was a little eccentric, that's the word I would use. And I remember Erin would tell me that you know, she was known like in the community, like back in Jamaica, and in I guess in their community in Brooklyn as well. She was known to be a bit of a psychic. And I remember him saying that sometimes people would go to her if they had, you know, any questions or concerns or whatever, or sometimes she would just offer her opinions or thoughts or her insight, her intuition. She would offer that to people. A lot of people were receptive, but a lot of people also just thought she was crazy. Like, a lot of people just thought she was crazy. If you read my book, then you may have known my friend Aaron. He passed away. He was killed in 2010. He was 18. And I went to the funeral, and I remember at the funeral, so you know how funerals go in the beginning, like before it really starts, you know, they have the casket open so you can view the body if you choose to do so. When the service began, the speaker said, okay, so you know, this was your last moment to view the body. We're gonna close the casket right now, and we're gonna open it back up at the end so you can give your final viewing. So at that point, somebody came to close the casket, and as they were closing the casket, Aaron's sister got up and shouted, "No, don't close it. He said keep it open." And people are just like, She's like, he said keep it open. He doesn't want it closed. People are just like, whoa, how do I put this? I'll say this is my first time seeing her in action, right? Okay, so I just want to give that little backstory. So now, okay, so at this point, so he died when I was in college. I came down to Brooklyn for the funeral, and then when school was done in the summertime, my friends and I, we held like somewhat of a memorial at his house, and she was there. And there was a moment when me and two of my friends, maybe three other friends, and his sister, and we're hanging out and we're just talking, and she just abruptly says, like, she cuts off all of us talking and she says, Aaron's here right now. And we're like, huh? She's like, he's here right now. And then I don't remember like who said what, but I feel like somebody was like, yeah, whatever, we don't believe that. And then she's like, okay, so I'll communicate with him for you. So like ask me anything, and like ask me something, and I'll communicate it to you to prove that he's here right now and he's willing to communicate. So I'm like, okay, what is something I can ask her? Like, what is something only Aaron would know? Like, what is something only Aaron would know that she wouldn't be able to guess? So I was like, okay, Aaron and I, we had like a favorite song. Like, we had a favorite song. I asked his sister, like, so what, ask him right now, like, what our favorite song is. Like, communicate to me what our favorite song is. So I'll, like, and if she were to guess it right, I would know that she was truly communicating with him. Because, for one, mind you, his sister is 18 years older. She doesn't listen to the kind of music we listen to. She didn't listen to like pop. She wasn't hip to like the young people music. Okay, I'll just put it like that. So so like, yeah, I had a song in my head. Now I'll tell you right now, the song was by Ciara, and the song is called Promise. That was our song. Well, me personally, that was my song because I just love the song. Like, the song itself was so beautiful. But Aaron, he loved the song because he was a dancer. And, you know, Ciara is an amazing dancer. And, like, he loved the choreography in the video. And, like, yeah, I would sing the song and he would do the dance or whatever. Okay. So, I'm like, okay. So, like, I'm waiting for her to communicate to me. And she's like trying really hard to like get it, and she's like, I can't, like, she's like, I can't, just give me a moment, I can't. At this point I lose faith because it was taking her a few minutes at this time. Like, she couldn't tell me. So I'm like, all right. And part of me is like, wait, maybe Aaron doesn't remember what our song was, because Aaron died in 2010. The song Promise came out in like 2006 or 5. So maybe he forgot that was our song, but when that song came out, that was our song. So I'm like, nah, he gotta know, because that was one of my really, really good friends. He gotta know what our song is. But eventually she was like, okay, I can't hear the song, but he's doing his dance. I'm like, what dance is he doing? What dance is he doing? And she gets up and she does, like, there's a part, I'm not gonna get up and dance. I'm not gonna get up and do it, but like, there's a part where Ciara spreads her arms out and does like a body roll, okay? And then she does that in the video. And then so Aaron's sister, she's like, he's doing something like this. He's doing something like this. And she gets up and she does that. And I'm just like, oh my God, okay, all right, I think I'm a believer, all right. And I was 19 at the time. So now, on to the second experience. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but the person prophesied to me. So, okay, so I was about 23. So I graduated college at 22. And when I graduated college, I was like bouncing around through different jobs. You know how it is. At this point, I had 2 jobs. Well, kind of, I had 3. Because at this point, I had just started my online store. But I had 2 jobs. So one of the jobs I really liked, I was working alongside my college counselor, my high school college counselor. I was working at my high school and at like my school's network. My school was a part of a network of different high schools. So I used to work with them. But that was a temporary job, only like for 1 month to a certain month, right? So while I had that job, I also was working at Home Depot. Okay. And I did not like that job at all. Now, all these jobs, they all have their pros and cons, so I don't want to minimize that. I loved working at Home Depot for the simple fact that the Home Depot was, or is, 10 minutes away from my house. I had really good hours. I got paid weekly. You know, I wasn't being micromanaged. It was easy money in a way. It was easy money. Although, when it comes to easy money, sometimes like you get bored and you're not really intellectually stimulated. But I had a cool coworker that I liked to be with on the floor. I was happy when we were on the shift together. And this day in particular, she and I were working together. I remember at the time she was still in college, so I was a little bit older than her. I am a little bit older than her, and she was still in college, so she was paying for her engineering degree. We're on the floor, and we got a customer come in. And he was an older man, a much older man, maybe in his 60s, maybe 70s. And he came to ask for assistance. He had a certain accent that stood out to her. And apparently they were both from the same country. I forgot which country, but they were both African. And so they had a little moment where they were bonding over that. And so I left the conversation for a little bit for them to have their moment. And then I guess I got bored and I came back to them. I guess I wanted to join the conversation. I don't know. I don't really remember how the conversation came up, but I remember he said to me, "You're not going to be here much longer." I'm like, what? Like, what? What? Like, am I going to die? Like, what do you mean? He said, "You're not going to be here at Home Depot much longer." I clock out in a couple hours. Yeah, like what are you getting at? He said, "No, you're not going to be working here for much longer." At this point, I had only been working there for about 2 months. So I'm like, "Oh, really? Like, am I, like, what makes you say that?" And he just says, "You're going to leave the job, but you're going to find somewhere better, somewhere much better." And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to keep asking this man questions. I'm like, okay, he sounds like he just told me something positive. I'm like, that sounds nice. And then my coworker says, "Oh, well, what about me? What about me?" And he says, "You're going to be here for much longer." So fast forward, about a month later, I got an opportunity to model live at Talia Wajid's natural hair show in Times Square. And I was modeling for Jamaican Mango and Lime. And I was modeling, and Ms. Lady LOCS, the LOCS stylist based in Atlanta, Georgia, she styled my hair, and that's when I first met her. She styled my hair live, and yeah, that was a really cool experience. I got paid. That was my first paid modeling gig since I've had LOCS. Mind you, I got booked for that gig well in advance. I tried to schedule out of my job, and they wouldn't grant me that day off. So I was like, what? I'm not going into work this day. I'm not gonna miss this modeling opportunity. So I ended up just calling out that day. And I had such a great time modeling that day. And then I was supposed to go into work the next day. My hair was styled, and I'm tender-headed, as you may know, if you are an avid watcher of mine. And I had a headache, and I'm like, so I had to call out again. And then the next day I was also scheduled to work, and I was just like, I'm not going anymore. Like, I can't bring myself to go. Mind you, I still had the other job. So I'm like, I really, like, I don't want to go. And plus, it was really hard sometimes because my other job was downtown Brooklyn. And then sometimes I would be scheduled to work at Home Depot in Springfield Gardens, Queens. And the commute was ridiculous. Like, from downtown Brooklyn to Springfield, it was just so much. It was just so much, like, oh. Anyway, so I was like, I'm not going. And then I texted my supervisor, and I didn't ever go back. I never stepped foot back in that Home Depot. And shortly after, I ended up getting another job at, and it was in the college admissions field again, college advising field, I should say. So yeah, and that was much better. And obviously after that, I got another job at an after-school program, which I adored. I loved that job, working with the kids at the homeless shelter. And then after that, I got my first full-time job as a caseworker. Loved that job, but that job was a hoot. Like, that was my last job. Okay, that was my last job. Anyways, so he was right about me. And he was absolutely right about my coworker. I follow her on Instagram, so we still kept in touch. So I saw years and years later, I saw her posting pictures of her in her orange apron. So I knew she was still working at Home Depot. So he was right. I don't know if she's still there to this day. She doesn't post pictures in the apron anymore, so I don't know. But he was definitely still right about the both of us. So lastly, this story was definitely the weirdest. And I know you guys are gonna tell me, Keisha, that was really foolish. You were being very foolish. Yes, I know. I'm well aware. This is what happened. And this was about 2 months ago, actually. This was like in June. This was probably early July, actually. Nah, this was June. This is June. Okay. So back in June, so I go to the gym. I go to my gym. My personal trainer owns a gym, and I go to his gym. And usually I walk there, and I take my own special route. You know, there's not a lot of traffic. And I just do it so I can be at peace and listen to my music. And like, I'm the type of person that I like actually like will dance walking down the street. Like, I don't care who sees me. And in my route, like, no one's seeing me because it's so low-key. It's a residential area, and the times that I go to the gym, people are either at work or they're in the house, maybe, you know, making dinner or something. Like, people aren't just outside, even though it's summertime, they're just not outside at this point. So this was a normal day. I was listening. I remember what I was listening to too. I was listening to Cassie, her mixtape from 2014, Rockabye Baby, which I love. Bumping it, walking down the street. Mind you, it's summertime, so it's still light out. Yeah, I'm walking down the street, music is loud. A car drives past, right? A truck. We make eye contact, eye contact. And then the truck keeps going. I keep walking. And as I keep walking, I see that the truck stopped. The truck stopped in the middle of the street. And it was a woman, a young woman, maybe not much older than me. She was probably in her 30s. And she stopped, and she was looking as if she was waiting for me to catch up to the truck. And the way she was looking at me, she was smiling. I thought she recognized me, because not often, but I do get stopped on the street sometimes, and people are like, oh, Keisha, I follow you on Instagram, or oh, Keisha, I follow you on YouTube. So the way she was looking at me, I thought she recognized me from social media. So especially because she had her hand, so she's on the driver's seat, there's no one in the passenger seat, and she has the passenger seat window down. So she's like this, but she's not out the window, but she's like that towards me. So I thought that she knew me when she shake my hand or something. So I take a headphone out, and I'm like, hi, like smiling, and she's like, can I tell you something? I'm like, She said, yeah, take out your headphones. I'm like, what? And I actually take off my headphones. I'm like, what? And at this point, I get a little paranoid, as anyone should, you know. I look around. There's nobody around. There's no one in sight. Nobody. And I even stopped just to listen in case I heard a footstep or something. I'm like, okay. And she's like, I want to tell you something. Can I shake your hand? And then I'm like, what? So I slowly approach the truck, and I'm looking in her truck to see if there's anyone in the back seat, you know, who's gonna I don't know, jump at me or something. I don't know. Her car was completely empty. No one around. So I shake this lady's hand. Mind you, she looked young, and she looked very petite. That too. She looks very petite. And she had natural hair, so I just thought she knew me. I just thought it had something to do with her knowing me. But so as soon as I shake her hand, she pulls me, guys. She grabs me with her right arm as well, and then she pulls and grabs my forearm, right here, and pulls me in. So now I'm not in the window, but I'm in the window frame. So now I'm in the window frame, holding on to the door, like this. My eyes were like this. I'm like, what? And then at that point, her face completely shifted. So before she looked like, and at this point she looked like, and I'm just like, but then she starts speaking immediately, and she's Mind you, at first her accent was like clear, very American, crystal clear. As soon as she pulls me in, her accent completely shifted. It was a very strong Caribbean accent. I can't place the country. And she's like, be careful with your friends and your family. They don't like you. I'm like, what? She said, they wish bad on you. I'm like, what? She said, don't worry about them. Just focus on you. Focus on what you're doing, because you're gonna be rich. You're gonna be successful, and you know you're supposed to be rich and successful. You know that, right? And then as she started saying that, like, she started sounding less scary and just more like a preacher, right? And she's like, she says, you're gonna have a dream tonight, and God is gonna come to you in your dream, and God is going to like reaffirm everything I'm saying right now. Keep trusting God. You're on the right track. And then she lets go of my arms. But the way she lets go, it was kind of like she like threw my arms off, like threw my arm. And I'm just like, and like I gave like a weird awkward smile. And then she says, yes, yes. And she starts driving off and she's yelling, hallelujah, 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 driving off. I can't make this up. This happened like a month ago. And over a month ago. And I'm stuck in my tracks. And then at this point, a little boy, well, he wasn't a little boy. He was clearly young. He looked like he was about 14, but he was like 6 feet tall. And he said, and like, I guess he saw what happened. I don't know. He wasn't there the whole time. He must have turned the corner and came and saw like the latter end of that situation. He goes, did you know her? I said, no. And he said, oh, I thought that was a family member of yours. I said, no. He said, that was weird. I was like, yeah. And then he goes, okay, so, you know, so I live around here. He starts talking, like he just starts like small talking me, and I'm like, okay, okay, nice. I wasn't really listening. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. And then he goes, okay, well, nice talking to you, bye. And I'm like, bye. And I'm just like, and I had to go to the gym after that. I'm like, what the hell? I called Ty, you know, my bestie. I called her and she's like, Keisha, you're from New York. You should know better. Why would you approach that lady? I'm like, you know what? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? It was so weird. I can't confirm what she said was true. If my friends don't like me, then stop talking to me. If my family doesn't like me, then leave me alone. That's all I have to say to you. But as far as being rich and successful, we'll see. I do claim that. I claim it. Yeah, and I remember when I went to the gym, like my trainer was like, oh, Keisha, what is wrong with you? Like, you're acting so weird. Like, you're acting so weird today. Like, weirder than usual, because you're already weird. I know he didn't say that, but I know he was thinking it. Okay, so those are my 3 stories. Now I'm gonna tell you about my experience using Keen. You have the option to speak on the phone, or you can even like have like a little chat room between you and the advisor. So I wanted to try both. So the first person I spoke to, I spoke on the phone, and I don't want to get too many details because it's kind of private, but she definitely told me something. Like, she told me something about the present that made me feel like, okay, like she knows something. She knows something because like it wasn't something that you could just guess, and it was about my previous relationship, right? And I was like, okay, yeah. It was very specific. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. It was very specific. I'm like, okay, cool. So then I asked her, okay, so tell me about something in the future. And she told me to expect a certain something in September. So hit me up in September and I'll let you guys know if she was right. So the second person I spoke to via the text option. I spoke on the same subject because I wanted to like compare what they said to see like if they were both on the same track, like, you know, if they both, you know, if they both were seeing the same things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if they both said the same thing, it would be more likely for me to be like, oh, okay, maybe they're onto something, you know? So we spoke on the same things. They had something similar to say when it came to the text person, when they told me about my present, they weren't as detailed as the first person, but they were on track. They were on track. And they also told me to expect something, but they told me in August. It's August? I mean, I guess, I don't know. Stay tuned, because I don't know. That could have been, you know, what happened. That could have been that thing. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Keisha Charmaine. And if what these ladies said came true in August, September, I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know. And I hope it does come true, because it was really good. And the second person, they gave more details with the thing that's supposed to happen. And those details were phenomenal. So I kind of hope that's really true. So make sure you use my link and get your 10 minutes for $1.99. And let me know what your experience is like down below. And let me know if you've had any, you know, spontaneous, synchronistic experiences with strangers, or, you know, or people you know that you didn't, you know, you didn't seek. You know, any sort of like intuitive, psychic like experiences. I like to read them in the comments below. Or maybe you yourself have the gift of sight. I like to hear about that down below. Thank you so much for watching. Love, light, and locks.